Here's my most reliable system for remixing songs. So if you've ever gotten stuck on a remix, or you want to show the world how cool of a remix you could put on your favorite songs, this is the video for you. So here's how it works. It's a 3-step system called the 3-step flip. But before we could get to step 1, we have to pick a song to remix. So step 0 is to pick a song. In today's video, I'm going to be remixing Sweet Lovin' by Me and You. And it's just a perfect song. And I think I could do something really cool with that vocal. Anyway, I hit up Me and You on Instagram, asked if I could remix their song, and they said yes. Also, if they like the song, they'll play it at clubs and festivals, so let's do our best. Now we're here at step 1. Whenever I remix songs, I go right for the vocal and add my own set of chords. It is critical that you do the chords first because these are going to set the mood for the entire track. So here's the vocals. This is like being in a candy store. Whenever I write chords, I use a piano or a very simple synth sound. In this case, I'm going to use a saw wave. That's just filtered. I always start with the bottom notes first, because the bottom notes are what controls the harmony with the vocal. I like this. I think this sounds like a good harmony that I could build chords with. I'm going to add my third to each of these. I'm going to skip doing the fifths. That's gorgeous. Let's deepen it a little with the pedal tone and a couple passing notes. See how it just presses the seriousness, that pedal tone? That just took me straight to Emotion Town. It's a yes from me. So these chords are about as strong as I'm going to get. I just know. They sound amazing, they hit me right in the feels, and they complement the vocal. And that's what step 1 is all about. So let's move to step 2. Step 2 is to pick a style and direction. And this is as simple as, are you doing a tech house remix, progressive house, dubstep? Maybe you don't want to follow a genre and you just want to do what you want. And that's fine. But step 2 is where we decide this. I think a great remix idea for this song would be to take these vocals, chop them up and make them stutter to increase the energy of them, and hopefully we end up with a higher energy stutter house song. I don't like genre names. So the way I'm going to turn this vocal into a stuttering lead, so I'm going to make a new track. I'm just going to take a phrase out of it. I'm going to bounce it into an MP3. And then one of the many ways to turn a vocal into a stuttering melody is to take that audio snippet, I called it Humble for whatever reason, and drop it into a granular synthesizer. The one I'm going to use is Arturia Pigments, and it sounds like this. And so being able to turn that vocal phrase into a sustained note now will allow us to add an LFO style tool and get a stuttering vocal. I'm going to add some reverb to it to dress it up, a little bit of OTT to make it really strong. And then just take a minute to play around with it and come up with something good. Okay, let's get chords under our stutter melody. I'm going to take the same chords from the intro, but we're going to make them nice and airy to match this dreamy, airy lead. These intro pads, they're a little too tight. So I'm going to go into Serum 1, and instead of a saw wave, I'm going to take a sine wave. I'm messing up. I think it needs a saw wave with high unison baked into it. Let's cut it off some too. Like something like that. What do you think? This octave or this octave? What's the stutter melody think? I can already hear this at a festival. So for the drums, I'm gonna try a progressive house kick first. That just sits in there like a glove. For the main hi-hat, I have a layer of 2 hi-hats. That one for the transient and this one for the essence. For the clap, I really want something that sounds like garage. This hi-hat loop I actually took, or it's actually a shaker loop. I took this from one of my students. It just sounds so good. Adds a really complete sound to the drums. Let's do bass now, shall we? Mind you, this is still step 2. You have to get your entire idea done, aka the drop, to know if like your idea is even worth making a full song with. So let's get the bass down quickly. For the bass, I'm actually going to take our chords from the intro. I'm going to duplicate that synth, and I'm just going to use the same notes and sound as the chords, but we're going to get rid of all the other notes up top and just keep the bass notes. Let's make sure we're sitting in the right octave. That would be no. So we're going to take these and pull them down an octave so that our strongest little frequency right here sits between 40 and 80 hertz. That would be the strongest, most present sub bass. I'm going to go into this synth and I'm going to add a sub oscillator to it with a sine wave. By default, saw waves alone, they make a very thin bass sound. Adding a sine wave to layer onto it thickens it up a bit, makes it a little rounder. That's deep. So here's my rough idea with no processing. Let's see if it's good enough to even make a song with. I think I vibe. And now here we are at step 3 of the 3-step flip, and that is the arrangement. This is where we take our beautiful ideas here and arrange them into a full song. So whenever I'm in this situation, I like to throw down a rough arrangement idea and just go from there. So we have our intro here. It sounds like this. It's relaxed enough that we could probably run it for 16 bars. Then we have our breakdown. We'll pull in the loose chords there to introduce them. And the purpose of the breakdown is to kind of phase out the intro and then phase in the drop melody or the drop elements. And then obviously we get to the drop. But the issue is we can't just lay out our arrangement like this and expect it to sound good. The energy of our song lives in these transitions, especially the transition going into the breakdown and then into the drop. If those transitions aren't exciting, our song will fail, and the listeners will never even make it to the beautiful drop. So here's how I like to make transitions so good that our arrangement is addicting. I like to start with automation. Everything in the song has to be moving at all times. Let's first start with the vocal that starts the song. It'd be kind of boring if it was just this for 16 bars. So I'm going to create some reverb automation on the second half of it so that it kind of floats away into sonic space. This way our listeners like, what's going on? It's like something's actually happening. I'm going to make our chords here do the same thing. But instead of reverb, we're going to automate the cutoff knob, which will give the chords this opening up feeling, like they're expanding over time. Check this out. Hear it expanding? It's that kind of thing where your listeners, they can hear something changing, but they don't know what it is, and it's just exciting. Intro's a little dry, so I'm going to borrow that nice shaker from the drop, just to give them something to create groove. Let's hop over to the breakdown, see if there's any automation we can do here. Now, the purpose of the breakdown is to phase out the vocal from the intro, but phase in the stuttering vocal for the drop. Now, the vocal's already flying away with reverb automation. Let's filter in the stuttering vocal. And since the vocal up here is at like max reverb, I think it will be pretty cool to also automate the reverb on this stuttering vocal. So we'll actually start the reverb high on this one and make it go away, which is opposite to the vocal. Vocal flies away, stuttering vocal flies in. Here are some transition effects to help add some salt and pepper to these transitions. I'm going to shut the camera off, lock in for a second, fine tune this, make it sound good, and then I'll see you in a sec. Alright, so I added this beepy thing to the intro. Pretty chill. And that's about it. Let's go ahead and play it back. Changes coming up. Vocals flying away. Chords opening up. Breakdown. It should feel like we're flying away. Yes. Absolutely. Original vocals coming back in. But like underwater, you know? Now we have to see if Me and You likes it. that's a video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to learn with me one-on-one or join my producer community where you can send me your songs for feedback and ask any production question that you would like. I have resources for both of those options in the description below, and stay tuned for the next video lesson.